Okay. Welcome, Fedi Friends, to episode 67 of Fireside Fedi. I'm your host, Ozoned. Fireside Fedi is a show about folks within the Fediverse. If you're hearing this, you are the Fediverse. And we've just come back over Christmas break, so if things don't go right, we're going to just roll with it because we made a lot of changes and stuff, but we'll see how it goes. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. That's how we organically grow in the Fediverse. Also, before we start, I'd love to see what folks can come up with as far as clips for the show. We're at Fireside Fedi at BT Free Social now. Don't forget to check us out as well on tubefree.org. My guest today, Carmen-Lisandrette.
Lisandrette, yes.
Lisandrette.
Lisandrette, like Lysandra with an H shoved on the end.
Is Carmen okay?
Carmen's fine.
Okay. Because I'm gonna
make it say Carmen-Lisandrette if I hate you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it wrong every time, so I'm making sure. All right. So Carmen is a cat lover, lesbian, free software activist, golden retriever, and a dress. I love that. I need to know more about that. Carmen is responsible for Mission Libre, a project for people aged 11 to 14 for free software in New Zealand. Carmen?
But actually worldwide.
Worldwide. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's why we're here to talk about that. Carmen, welcome so much to the show. Thank you for coming on.
I'm happy to be here.
And I think we already discussed it earlier. How do you want to be addressed? Carmen?
Carmen's fine.
Carmen's fine. All right. Well,
yeah.
Carmen, how did you get to where you're at today?
Well, Mission Libre I've been working on that for 2 years now. I can't believe it.
Right.
So back in the early 2000s, 2005, like I was 13, and I loved free software.
Okay.
Really, really loved free software. But back then, as now, there was nothing for people my age. And, well, back then there wasn't. Today there's a bit more, but there's things like Youth Having for Friend, for example. I should probably say that. But, yeah, I really wanted to be involved, but there wasn't anything for people my age. And so I just couldn't.
Sorry, my son was talking to me. So you wanted to give back, but you couldn't.
But I wanted to be involved. I thought, because free software, as I've said, it blew my mind in the best possible way.
Right.
I thought it was like one of the best things on the planet, but I really, really, really want to be involved. But if you're 13 and I'll admit a rather nervous kid, I just couldn't. There was no way for me to get involved.
Okay. But you're talking 2005.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's put this into some perspective here. Because if you were 13 in 2005, you were born in 92, right?
Yes.
You were essentially born when Linux was born.
Close to it, yeah.
Right? So I love that idea because even in 2005, I didn't even know this existed. Like I had dabbled with Red Hat, but I didn't know. How did you get into free and open source software at such a young age?
Well, when I was a teen, I was learning a 13-year-old, I was learning how to program. And I remember it really clearly because it was the summer holidays and it was beautiful programming while the sunshine was out. But I went to the library and I got this book on C++, and it said, in the back, there's a compiler for you. But the book, I turned to the back and it was long gone. So...
Oh, yeah.
So I needed a compiler, and a internet search brought me to the GCC, and then also the articles on GNU.org, and that's the start of the story.
Okay, wow. No, that's amazing. So for folks that don't know, back in the day, there was kind of an arms race to see who could come up with the best compiler for C. And originally they thought that you can't create a compiler. You have to compile it all by hand, and no one could do this. Well, once someone proved you can compile code, automatically a bunch of people started making their own. And what they would do is they would sell like a book, like Borland's C++ or whatever, and they would have a CD in the back, right? That had the compiler that you needed to run the programs. So yeah, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, and then eventually the compilers themselves became open source for anyone to grab. And
well, not the Borland one in the back of the book. It
not the
was like
Borland
a
one. Yes, right.
no.
No, there was an
And
open source one.
I'm very glad that the floppy disk was missing.
Yeah. So something that you were probably really annoyed about pushed you to find this thing that has now changed your life and has actually changed the world, right? That's amazing.
Yeah.
So 13, you get this book, you want to read up on a programming language, you need a compiler. So you just go to the internet and like C++ compiler. And okay.
Because I remember I was still on Windows back then, obviously, but I ran the installation and it comes up with the license. And of course, I'm mildly curious and I noticed that it's completely different. So I'm like, this is weird. I have to read about this.
And no, wow. Okay. Because I remember, I mean, God, when I was 13, software licenses weren't really a thing anyone paid attention to. I was 13 when you were born, essentially. And it was a whole different lifestyle, but that's amazing though, is that kind of tipped you off and you're like, and that just took you down a massive rabbit hole. And okay, so you saw a need and open source filled it. And then you're just like, yeah, I'm all in on this open source stuff.
Well, I didn't actually hear about open source until about a year later.
Okay.
And I was horrendously confused about what open source actually was because I knew all about free software. And I was like, for about a year, I thought open source was just like source available.
Okay.
And of course, I'm 13 and I'm not the best reader. So I read Stallman's explanation and I don't get it.
Yeah.
So for a year, I thought open source was just source available. So I've always been more into free software, probably because 13-year-old me wasn't the brightest person on the planet.
No, that's so cool though. Because 13-year-olds, again, they don't read software licenses, but then you're actually like, no, this is weird and interesting. I want to try and dig into it. That's like that's more like a software or like an attorney type thing. Right?
Yeah.
Even at 13, that's amazing.
I was a bit of a nerd in high school. I actually used to, I mean, a law nerd. I used to constantly have the book Butterworth's Introduction to New Zealand Law out constantly, and I read that thing backwards and forwards. So maybe in another world I would be a lawyer.
Okay. So, okay. Wow. So you actually found those kinds of things. Are you sure you were a nerd?
Yeah.
I think I've told tons of people this. Like when I worked at Red Hat and I was like, you're a nerd. And they're like, I'm not a nerd. I was like, dude, you work at Red Hat. That instantly is a level of nerdery outside. Like you're into open source. You're reading the terms of service to things. You're finding out about software. You're looking into compilers. Yeah. I could tell, but that's why we're here, right? Like we want to share these passions with other people and we find our own kind of nerdery. So you found open source at a young age. When you saw it, were you like, this is the wave of the future? Or was it just, oh, this is just interesting for me?
Well, as I said, I heard about open source later, but when I heard about free software and read Stallman's essays, I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing on the planet. Like, I'm so happy I know this exists. And I know I'm going to be obsessed with this forever.
Awesome. Yeah, Troller in chat said, reading Stallman at age 13 is so cool. Yeah, it's one of those, it's what's the word? it's your reference point, right? Like I find that
Yeah.
awesome at 13. I wish I knew a 13-year-old Carmen. You could have taught me stuff. I would have loved that. That's so cool. And
I know a couple 14-year-olds who have also read Stallman's essays. Hi guys, if you're there, by the way. They're much smarter than I was back then, though.
well, but we all kind of build off of each other's backs, right? And that's
yeah.
so what led to, so there's 13 years until you create, no, there was 11 years until you create Mission Libre, right? Because Mission Libre has been around 2 years ago.
Well, I'm 33 now.
Okay.
So it's been about 20 years.
No,
so I actually didn't go into technology in the end.
Okay.
I unfortunately my 20s I was very sick for quite a while, which is not very nice thing to say, but so late 2023 it's like I got better. And
yeah, I'm happy you did.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, I can do anything now. So I thought, oh, this is a problem that needs solving, so let's do that.
So okay. No, we have to take, I mean, and I'm not going to dive into how you were sick or anything. That is, obviously private business, but I'm happy to hear you got better. And sometimes we have to focus on ourselves. You're here today trying to push this thing you created to help open up the world, and you had some personal struggles to go through in order to get there. And that's okay. Right?
Yeah.
We all lean on each other sometimes. So Carmen, I'm happy you got through it. And coming out of it too, just like guns blazing, like, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make a company. This is how it's gonna work. We're gonna teach 11 through 14 year olds about free software, because it is something you're passionate about and you loved. And not only that, it levels the playing field. Like that's how I found it, is like I didn't have a lot of money for this stuff. And when it came down to it, at one point it was like $200 for Windows or something else. And it levels that playing field.
Yeah, I don't think I would have been able to learn how to program if I didn't have just a compiler that I could copy freely.
Right. And
at all.
And people don't know this.
Like I think that's true for a lot of people.
Those books back then, they were $50 to $100. And they would come with a free compiler, but usually it was just a watered down because they wanted you to buy their compiler. Like people used to sell compilers and they were expensive. So no, that's amazing.
The one at the back of the book was only good for 2 weeks as well. And I can't learn C++ in 2 weeks. I'm not that gifted.
Well, was the book called Learn C++ in 2 weeks?
No, it was not. It was this thick.
I always love the books that are like, learn assembly in 24 hours. No, you're not. That's not happening. Sorry. So 2 years ago, you decide, I'm going to make a company trying to advocate for free software. How did you...
Something like that.
Walk me through that.
Well, the start of Mission Libre, the business side, was a pain in the rear. I initially thought, I won't bore everyone with the details. I initially thought, let's make an incorporated society and do it the proper way. New Zealand law says you need 10 people. And firstly, in New Zealand, I've met exactly 2 people who know what free software is before I told them about it.
Okay.
All open source. So the community here is not very big.
Yeah.
So I asked on Libre Planet Discuss, and I got a flood of emails, and I got 7. I can count.
Okay.
So I was like, oh no. So my other option was to be adopted by a local charity. That didn't happen.
Oh.
Or So I sat up and I was like, okay, we're going to sit with this thing called Community Net and we're going to figure this out no matter what happens. So I sat up for, I think it was 2 a.m. when I figured it out. I'm like, let's just incorporate a company, adopt some common sense restrictions on how we'll spend its money, and we'll be done.
And you needed 10 people.
I need 10 people to form, I needed 10 voting members to legally make an incorporated society, and I couldn't do that. So I just set up a plain old limited liability company, which is a really nasty hack, but do what you can do.
No, absolutely. Especially when you're restricted by the law, you want to get something going off the ground. But you had the tenacity to do it, to find those people, and you tried, right? And so you set it up as an LLC.
Yeah, or the
right?
local equivalent.
So what is your, how'd you come up with the name?
Initially, it was Launch Libre. And then
Libre, okay.
I thought, like, launching Libre.
Yeah.
I'm bad at naming things, but
no, I like both of them. I think they're both good.
Then I woke up one morning and go on my laptop and open Hacker News. I see something called launch code. I'm like, oh crap. So I was like, oh, same sort of area, Mission Libre. And I realized the other week I was at the bus station and I see Mission Electric written on one of the buses. I'm like, that's where I got the name from. Still okay. The bus company.
No, everything gets, every idea, comes from somewhere, right? Nothing's created in a vacuum. So don't even worry about where you got. That's a good story. I like it. There was a bus going by. No, it's a good name. What does it mean to you? What is your goal?
For Mission Libre in general, I'm sorry, I'm a bit unclear about what you're asking.
Yeah, what is your goal for Mission Libre?
Oh, the big goal is I want it to be like the obvious place for teens to go, or 11 to 14-year-olds to go, if they're interested in free software.
Okay.
And just be an excellent resource for them to really help them become contributors as they grow up.
Okay.
That's a big goal.
Download the New Look Handbook. What's the New Look Handbook? Libre, the reboot.
I put out a zine once a month. So it's meant to be just a little bit of a little activism, a little making art and music and movies, and a little bit of programming, computer science.
Zoe.
So yeah.
So I'm looking over your latest zine, and there's Welcome to Free Software, Zoe Koyman, who I had on the show, and there's Alexander Oliva, who I'm actually about to have on the show. I like this zine already. This is all right. Your zine is my list of people I'm going to be interviewing next, apparently. So are these folks a part of it, or they're just
no. Alexandre and Zoe have both been incredibly helpful to me, though. Alexandre was the first person I went to with questions to say, hey, what do you think about this? And then he introduced me to Zoe, and we've talked quite a bit. She's helped me quite a lot. For example, I was in the FSF Bulletin this winter.
Okay.
So they've both been extremely big help. I mean, big helps to me. I'm very thankful for their help, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. I've only briefly gotten to talk to Oliva. Oliva, right? Sorry, I'm terrible with names. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not butchering his name either.
Alexandra, yeah.
Sorry, Alexandra, if I'm messing up your name. It's
just a name. No big deal. No, I'm kidding. That's why I was trying to make sure to be, to get how people want to be called. It's a big thing. And we always try and remember. So, and that's okay. So there's an awesome, and that looks like a school notebook type zine, how you put
Yeah.
it out. I really like that.
Mm.
What else? So when someone joins your community, because you have a community join here, what kind of thing does that do? Mission Libre's communities for everyone aged 11 to 14 who hasn't started college or university. So walk me through the process. If I am an 11 to 14-year-old and I sign up for this, does this sign up for a mailing list or?
Um, right now it just drops the form into my inbox.
Okay.
When I've got enough people, I'm looking to start some clubs, which will be held online over Jitsi and
Okay.
maybe later in person. I can also provide personal help to individuals. For example, I've helped teenagers find others their age who share their interests. I've helped people in remote locations find their local free software communities, and I've helped find educational resources.
Okay. So you're looking to kind of connect people, right? You're not looking to
Yes.
set up your own platform.
Mm.
You want to be a onboarding mechanism to get
Yeah.
people to where to go. Oh, that's awesome. What would you say is
I'm
your?
here to support.
I'm sorry.
I'm here to support.
Okay. No, that's great. What are you gonna say?
Yeah. Something I read early was that you can make all the programs you want in the world, put out all the materials you want,
Mm-hmm.
and it will mean nothing if there's no relationships behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kept that in mind
Yeah. No.
as I've designed everything Mission Libre. So it's all about building a community and relationships between people.
That's awesome. And I think that's what a lot of us want is, especially starting out, um, someone to go to ask questions. And one of the things that I had to learn, because I grew up basically without a community, and one of the things I had to learn though is you will never become the person that knows everything, right? And if you think you are someone that knows everything, you got a lot more to learn because no one does. And I like to point out to people like Linus Torvalds doesn't know everything in Linux. He can't. It's impossible. But knowing and building those social networks and connecting as a community and know who to ask, where to go in specific instances is more important than trying to remember everything. Right? So, and that's what you're trying to do. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
How many people do you think you need before you will start doing like online classes?
Um, well, even a small handful will be good. It's so long as they're all sort of in the same time zone.
Okay.
And I'm trying to have them once every 2 weeks. So if I can get like
Nice.
5 people that want to come regularly, then great, we can go.
Okay. Yeah. But it has to be 11 to 14-year-olds.
Yes.
Okay. Can I ask why specifically 11 to 14-year-olds?
Um, at that age, they're just beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the most to say to them. They're also at a time when their preferences for how they do computing is most changeable. So someone who's
Interesting.
16 is less likely to change how they compute or get involved with free software than
Okay.
if they're younger.
But like if you have someone that's in their 20s or 30s that comes to you and says, hey, you know, I know that you're a free software advocate. I'm trying to figure out what this stuff is.
That's happened, and I always help.
Okay, right. So
I can't
yeah.
help. I love getting those emails. They're the best part of my day. Well, not
Okay.
necessarily from people that old, but like any email saying, "Hey, can you help me?" It's gets put to the top of my list to do. So
Okay. Yeah, what I was gonna say is because it sounds like you just love talking about this stuff and helping. So it's not really for young people everywhere aged 11 to 14.
yeah,
Right. But you put
I mean,
that on the tin.
I have to focus a bit, but
Yes.
Otherwise, I will drown in emails. But I spent quite a bit of 2024 just talking about free software in my community.
Okay. Oh, I think I lost Carmen. We'll give it a minute. Hi, Eric. Hi, Blender. Hi, Logal. Hey, Josh. Who else am I missing here? The different embers. Hey, Dead Tom. How's it going? Troller was here. Troller left. I think that's it. Cover's back.
my my Wi-Fi's dodgy, so
No problem. No problem.
there's risk construction outside. Someone turns on a machine and it creates interference. It sucks.
No problems. I mean, we do it live, right? So you just got to roll with it. So you have upcoming events. And so that's what you're talking about. Normally you'll announce upcoming events. Now, do you have like focused classes, or is it kind of a ask all?
With the clubs, it depends on who comes. I just pull up my notes because I have a whole list of stuff.
Oh, sure.
Some of it will be, yes, I can teach you basic programming. Sure. We can talk about their projects. I've got some projects with Sonic Pi planned because I thought it was great. Paul Sutton actually put me on Sonic Pi, and it's a programming language for creating music, and it's really fun. So I have some projects planned using that. It might be fun to, play with assembly programming and maybe even a little bit of logic design at a very basic level, because I was always curious about how that worked. It's like, how does the actual machine work? I'd also like to get young people involved in technical writing, even if they're not interested in programming. So we'll talk about how to write tutorial material for other kids to use. And if they're motivated, I'd love to help young people as well advocate for free software in their communities, like by making posters or writing letters to authorities or even doing their own speeches. And if I'm lucky, I'll get some guest speech, because maybe I've got a lot planned. Is what I'm getting at.
Well, what kind of things? Where do you see this going? Where do you want it to go?
It's hard because I'm just one person to predict the future. I'm hoping that over time the kids that come join Mission Libre and who learn with us will stay in free software in the future and will become contributors and activists and policy wonks and documenters and those really important people that we need to make the movement thrive tomorrow and for the decades to come.
No, and if anything, it seems like that kind of thing is inevitable to me. I mean, pretty much any large software now, right? Someone is like, oh, here's my GitHub repo. You want to change, here's a pull request. So open source software, despite what some big corporations said 10 or 15, 20 years ago now, is winning, right? Like, and it's kind of the default. So anyone that's really interested in source code or programming in general has to know these kinds of things so they can come to you to get a good kind of leg up and starter.
I think free software, on the other hand, is possibly a little on the back foot, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, see, it's interesting because you really make that distinction between free and open source, right? And there is a difference.
There's obviously a lot of worry and just the general culture about whether or not technology can be used for good. And I think it's really important that free software becomes allowed a voice in that conversation, because technology is good so long as it's controlled by the public and not companies or developers.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, and I mean any technology can be misused for
Yeah.
unintended consequences, right? So
Mm.
since it sounds like you're very deep into free versus open source,
Mm.
you think it's more important to have free software. And
Yes.
for those that are not familiar with all the different distinctions here, free is as not free as in cost, but free as in anyone can take it to do anything they want with it. And then there are different licenses under there, right?
Mm.
So what kind of license do you think surmises what you're going for?
Well, I'm a fan of the GPL version 3 or the AGPL version 3. I'm
Okay, which makes
firmly in
sense.
that camp.
Yeah, that's what Richard Stallman came up with, right? The idea that you are free to take this code, use it as you so see fit, but it has guardrails on it that if you change the code or make, in any way, you need to, one, make that available to others, and two, give it back upstream. And that's because there have been a lot of open projects that are just like, just take it and run, and then people never give back. And I think this is what you're getting to. We are seeing a lot of world large companies, Amazon, Google, etc., that are taking the code, running it how they need it, and then putting all of the work on the developers that don't get paid or anything. So these developers are lashing out and starting to lock down their code via their licenses. So what do you have to say like around that then? Do you agree with those things? You disagree?
I don't think proprietary software is good in any circumstance.
Okay.
I think free software funding is hard. I don't have a magic solution. All I can say is that I hope that we need fundamental changes in the way we fund software to make that sort of thing stop happening, I believe. I'm sorry, I can't be more specific, but
No, we're trying to figure this out, right? Like
it's not an easy thing, and I don't think that really it's at some point you're probably going to, I don't know, just speculating, you might have to tax the big companies, but even that won't work because they're excellent at getting out of taxes. But that can only be a short-term solution. It's structural.
Well, something like, I don't know if you heard about the EU this week. They're calling on comments about open source because they want to make, not, I think specifically open source, not necessarily free, but how they go about getting. So they put out a call for comment, right, on how best to move forward, because the EU is very much looking at digital sovereignty, and the best way to get there is free and open source technologies because they've already been built, right? Do you think that something like that is the answer, where governments now, in order for their best interests, pay developers to do it?
Something like that's going to be necessary, yes. In fact, in a lot of the, excuse me,
No, you're fine.
there's been a lot of that happening already. Like GNU ADA was sponsored by the US military, for example.
Okay.
So it's not unprecedented to have governments fund free software like that.
ARPANET.
Yeah. But I think that can only be part of the solution. Unfortunately, I don't know what the solution is. That's something for some people who are much smarter than me and more knowledgeable about the actual business side of technology. I'll have to defer to them.
But I mean, at the point you're coming in at, maybe one of those students you teach has the answer that all of a sudden works. And because we're empowering a generation to actually create and understand this kind of freedom, something that a lot of people in our generation never even knew could exist, like you're opening it up for maybe the next step to be taken. And that's awesome. A lot of people just want to build a company for themselves, but you're really more about sharing the knowledge and getting it out so people can take it and create.
Yes, I'm running Mission Libre knowing that I don't have all the answers. I only have my little piece, but my little piece is precious, so I'm going to contribute anyway.
Yeah. You love it, right? What is the best way, like, folks can help you with Mission Libre if they're not, like, there's a lot of software developers out there that love the idea of helping people with things. They might have struggled and they want to help, or they want to onboard people to this. What is the best way for folks like that to help you?
At this point of time, best thing you can do to help me without donating is to actually tell other people about it.
Okay.
Anything you do to tell people about it get it into the hands of kids and have them join us will be fantastic. If you have any ideas for avenues for promotion, please do flick me email. I'm Carmen@missionlibre.org, or you can get my Mastodon. Okay. And anything like that will be a huge help.
You said folks can donate to you?
Yes, you can donate via my Libre Pay. I also accept direct bank deposits, but you'll need to email me for those details.
Okay. And yeah, it's literally right there in your sidebar, support Mission Libre. Yeah. I don't know why I can't read. I was just like scrolling around everywhere looking for this thing, and it's literally right there. Okay. Excellent. Do you have anything else you want to talk about Mission Libre?
I think that's mostly it, actually.
Okay. Awesome.
I hope that explains everything that anyone would want to know about it. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to the future, and I can't wait to get more emails from kids wanting to learn more about free software.
What's the most exciting thing you are looking forward to coming up that you're working on?
As I said before, one thing I should say is in a few months, I'm coming out with a small Zine book of about 150 pages on everything like a young newcomer to free software might want to know.
Okay.
From what it is to, some fun things you can do with technology. And that's coming out in March, April. It was meant to be February, but it didn't work out that way.
No, it's done when it's done, right?
But like, if you want anything from me, just email me. I'm thrilled to get emails from people wanting help. It's the best part of my day. Makes my day.
Yes, Blender in the
I'm
chat.
here to do the work.
Well, and by people asking you questions, that forces you to learn and prepares you for more people to help, right? Like, you can't know what you don't know. But when people ask you questions, it points out your gaps as well, and then you can actually learn together. Yeah. That's what I always love. That was the fun and exciting part for me. So Blender says, small book, 150 pages. Yeah, 150 pages. I mean, unless they're small pages.
Well, the format spreads the text out over a few pages, as you see in the zone.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, that's really well done too. I like your, you call it zines. I thought they were called zines. I don't know. I had never heard of this until I spoke to Osa literally last year. And now I'm hearing it everywhere. I don't know if they're coming back or if they've just always been there and I've never realized it. I think it's the latter.
I used to call it like a magazine, but I thought that was a bit poncy. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. A bit ambitious a name, I think is the word. What does poncy even mean? But someone said, hey, cool zine. And I'm like, that's what it is.
Okay, yeah. Makes perfect sense. All right. Well, now for the real reason I asked Carmen here, to give him the opportunity to win a prize of a lifetime. Our prize today is 3 chihuahuas and an overcoat. Are you ready for the quiz?
Yeah, okay.
All right. Favorite movie and why is it Spaceballs?
I've never seen Spaceballs.
See, I always like this question because that really sets up the rest of the quiz. Like, it doesn't have to be Spaceballs. I just love knowing what people's favorite movie is. And Spaceballs my favorite movie. So what is your favorite movie? If you have one.
It changes, but right now it's Flow. I watched Flow like a few weeks ago with the one with the cat and the boat and the capybara. I cried like a baby during it.
Is this from last year?
Yeah.
I've never seen this. Oh, that looks beautiful. Oh, wait.
It's lovely.
Why do I know this?
It's sometimes talked about because it's made with Blender. But
that's probably why. Yeah.
I think that's how I heard about it, but I cried like a baby watching it.
I'll have to watch that then. Well, maybe I shouldn't watch that then if it's going to make me cry like a baby. I don't want to do. I mean, I'm manly. No, I'm not. I cry all the time. It's okay to cry, everyone. Feel your emotions. It's harder to feel your emotions than it is to shut them out. So, all right, good answer. I'll definitely check that out. I have heard of that, and I think that's exactly why, because of Blender. So, next question. Vegemite, vineyards, or volcanoes?
I would say Vegemite, but I think you've asked me this because you've read my profile and you know I'm mad about Vegemite right now.
All right.
So I would say Vegemite, but yeah, I'm mad at the company that makes it right now because they ruined it.
All right. Well, how'd they ruin it? I didn't see that.
It's Vegemite has the problem with Vegemite is it's not something you make at home. It has to be an industrial product. And all the different brands have very specific flavors and textures, and everyone who likes them has like their favorite.
Okay.
And mine was Vegemite. And I finished my whole jar. I'm very mad about this. I'm so close to flying to Melbourne with a protest sign. But I got my old jar and I used up the rest of it. Sad. And I got a new jar. And it's runny and it doesn't have the same vegetable undertones that the original had. So now I have to find a new brand. And now my morning breakfast is ruined. Because when I wrote that post, I was really looking forward to that sandwich and it ruined my evening.
So this is interesting because as an American, I didn't even know Vegemite was a brand. I thought it was just like a general type of food.
There's New Zealand Marmite, Australian Vegemite, UK Marmite, Promite, Mighty Mind, Vitamin R, Fediverse.
Okay, and you liked Vegemite, and they changed Vegemite.
They changed the recipe. It's been around for 103 years, and they've ruined it.
What? I'm
going to have to switch to UK Marmite, which I don't like as much.
I've never tried any of them. I heard they can be a bit much.
Yeah, I'm an advanced user of Vegemite.
So. An advanced user.
I eat a lot of it, so.
So then if Vegemite is out, vineyards or volcanoes?
I have to say volcanoes because I live in Auckland and we're built on volcanoes. We have about 52 of them under the city. And there's Rangitoto, which is beautiful. You go up it and you can see all around the city and it's a murderous hike.
This sounds fun.
It's fun.
A murderous hike up a volcano.
Well, it's extinct, they say. But the problem is the ground is very, very rough. So you fall over, you're going to bleed. So you have to take it slow, wear good shoes, and just focus on putting one foot in front of the other. But when you get up there, the view is gorgeous. You can see all the city.
So,
the
but
ocean.
and the other interesting thing here, again, I'm American. Your city is built on 52 volcanoes?
Yeah, most of them dead. But all of them dead.
Hang on. Hang on. I love this because I have an Australian friend, and of course, we always make fun of him about living in the most dangerous part of the world. And New Zealand is like, no, dudes, we got this. Let's build cities on top of on top
It's
of
a volcanic field.
extinct volcanoes. And everyone's like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, there was a news article on Radio New Zealand a few months ago about what would happen if a new volcano popped up.
I'm guessing not good things.
No, not good things. And it also said something about us being woefully unprepared.
Yeah.
We're kind of overdue for one to blow up soon. So.
Well, that someone said Yellowstone, Yellowstone is a volcano. I don't live on Yellowstone. Like, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, the Earth is really just trying to kill us left and right.
Yeah.
So volcanoes is the answer. I love that. And I didn't even know that New Zealand is like filled with volcanoes.
We're right, but we jam between the Australian and Pacific plate. So, like that horrible quack in Christchurch in 2011. I'm not sure if you remember that.
I know.
But sometimes we get really awful disasters like that. And Wellington, which is south of me, often gets quite a lot of shakes to the point where they're normal.
See me, I'm just, nope, as far away as possible. I don't, the ground starts shaking, I'm moving. No, thanks. On that happy note, we'll go on our next question. Wearing your socks to sleep or wearing sandals with socks?
Socks to sleep.
Socks to sleep? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to tell me why. Because to me, like, socks to sleep, no, that just, it feels weird. I need to feel the blanket on me. I'd rather wear socks and sandals any day.
Socks and sandals, the point of a sandal is to make sure that your feet are well ventilated. The socks make that pointless.
So this isn't pro socks to sleep. This is anti sandals and socks. Okay. Do you ever wear socks to sleep though?
In winter, yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Mm.
But you're on volcanoes. You ever actually get winter? It's just always hot.
I'm actually a little north of the volcanic field, but like most houses, well, a lot of houses in New Zealand don't have central heating. So in winter, it can be freezing.
Oh my gosh.
So socks to sleep for sure.
You guys didn't even have, wow. Yeah, so air conditioning.
Some houses do have we don't have air conditioning. A lot of houses in New Zealand, the Brits got here, found, oh, this is subtropical and lovely. We don't need to do anything about heating or cooling. So New Zealand houses can be cold at times.
But I mean, now they're forcing you to eat their Marmite?
Well,
I mean, the Vegemite group is the one that did it.
Yeah, I'm too gay to eat Marmite, so New Zealand Marmite. It's owned by a conservative church, so I have to eat Marmite, Vegemite.
I want to try it so bad. I have to find a way to get it sometime. All right.
It's often in the ethnic food section at some of the biggest supermarkets in the US, I've heard.
This is the South. The most ethnic they usually get is, here's a taco. I actually am very lucky. In the area I'm in, it has a lot of diversity. So there actually is Indian restaurants, and I'll have to check. I don't know if there would be in my local one, but if I actually go downtown Raleigh, there's I don't think H Mart would have it. That's more Asian food. I'll have to check because I've always heard about it and I need to try it. I've tried hummus. We have hummus blender. So sorry. Someone in the chat mentioned trying hummus. My wife loves hummus. All right. Next question is, what does an alternate universe Carmen do?
Alternate universe Carmen
Mm-hmm.
probably would have been some sort of reference librarian, maybe.
Wait, what?
Um,
Would be a reference librarian?
you know, the people who you go to at the library and say,
Yeah.
I don't know how to use the search, please can you help me? Um,
That's
so, or an archivist, or maybe even, I actually, when I initially went to university, I pursued unfortunately I didn't finish it, but I pursued a qualification in for what's called a legal executive, which is like a US paralegal,
okay.
thinking that I would go into dispute resolution.
Okay. Interesting.
So
No,
probably that, and maybe if Mission Libre doesn't work out in the end, I'll.
that's where you go. Yeah, it's never the end. You always just try and move on, right? Just moving on
Yeah.
from one chapter to the next. Well, no, it's very interesting because I don't know if you've seen the show. I have an alternate universe phone, and it changes look from week to week. This week it looks like it's a Lego Game Boy with whatever Legend of Zelda came with the Lego Game Boy, or with the Game Boy, I mean. Not mine, it's completely a alternate universe phone. And when I called, this is amazing because I think you're the first person to ever. You might have talked to the alternate universe, Carmen, because when I reached out to them, they said that they started Mission Libre. I'm sorry, Mission Libre. Apparently, that Carmen invented a ray gun that creates books out of thin air to help educate folks. So there you go, like a librarian. That was amazing. All right, next question: Persian, Siamese, or Bengal?
My favorite cat is the cats that move in with you. They're like street cats. I've had so many of
Yeah,
those. But my favorite of those breeds is the Persian.
the Persian. Okay, why the
Yeah,
Persian?
they're just cute.
Does anyone like? What about Siamese? I'm sorry. We had a
I
cat. I love our cat. There's something about Siamese cats that I just, it makes me feel weird.
when I grew up, I had a part Siamese Torby cat called Jasmine, and she was scarily athletic. She could pull. A bird flew through our hall in our house against the roof. This cat who was like this big leapt down there, grabbed it, ran off.
Wow.
It's really
Did,
impressive, really scary. So I like birds. So um, yes, me. So me might be a bit too athletic for me.
they just look like they're staring into your soul. They're pretty. They have pretty blue eyes, but they're just staring like that. They're the like iconic ancient Egyptian, and I can see why they worship them because they freak me out. Sorry. Hey. All right. And then, as usual, the last question will be sent to Carmen telepathically. I'll send you the question because obviously we're telepathic and it's a completely real question. You'll get it. Take your time thinking about it and let us know when you have your answer. Okay. All right. Here it comes. And there's your question. Let me know when you have an answer to that completely real telepathic question I obviously sent you.
Million spiders.
A
That's the
million.
answer.
Oh my God. What was the question that you got? I don't know. I don't know if I sent the right question. Why a million spiders?
Well, the question. Well, I guess the question is, what's your biggest fear? And
Okay. No,
spiders
yeah,
is it?
yeah, okay. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's fair. That absolutely that's the question I sent you. Wow. This has definitely been one of the most interesting quizzes we've ever had, though. That's for sure. Thank you. All right, congratulations. You got every answer either correct or incorrect. Good job. Unfortunately, when we went to go get the 3 Chihuahuas in an overcoat, we found out that there were actually 2 cats wearing a 3 Chihuahua suit, wearing an overcoat, and we know, oh my God, there's spiders all over the screen. I think I just started. So fortunately, we can't send you your prize. Very sorry about that. But thank you so much for all the work you're doing with Mission Libre. I think we are at the point where we just need more of folks like yourself that are willing to reach out and help people understand and actually talk to people about it. Because it seems like while all of it is built on free and open source software, a lot of folks don't really have a clue that there are alternatives. So thank you for doing what you're doing. That's excellent.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's it for Fireside Fedi today. Thank you all for coming to watch. We appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If you didn't enjoy it, let me know. Let's have actual, open, honest communications. Let's build communities like Carmen's talking about, because that's how we all get stronger. That's how we all level up together and can move on to the next step and the next step. And we all keep moving forward. That's all we have for now. We'll catch you guys next time. Have a great one. Bye.
Bye.